Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tom's Gadget Garage. Today I'm here with the Lectric XPedition 2.0 and I'm about to head out on a little bit of a grocery run because I need to pick up a couple 40-pound bags of salt for my water softener system because unfortunately out here in Arizona the water is super hard. And while I'm at the grocery store I'm probably going to pick up a gallon of milk and some cereal and we'll load it up on this bike and see how it does. So a couple things about my setup today. This is the dual battery version of this XPedition 2.0. So I've got two 13 amp hour batteries, both of which are good for a combined 1,248 watt hours of capacity, which according to Lectric should be good for approximately 120 miles of theoretical range. Also on this bike are the XL cargo bags that we've got mounted here on the back. As you can see, compared to the size of my hand, these things are absolutely huge. So lots of volume for things like groceries, which we're going to be doing today. And then in the back here, I did buy this kind of four-way bungee strap from Amazon. I'll include a link in the description below, but we'll use this to hopefully secure our load with the two 40-pound bags of salt. Something else that I really like about this XPedition 2.0 is the fact that it's got mounting points for accessories, it's got anchor points for cable tie downs, bungee cords, the whole 9 yards, and it's got a very long cargo rack. There are a lot of options out there on the market today that have shorter cargo racks. What's nice about a longer cargo rack is you can carry bigger things and you can also carry additional passengers. When it comes to carrying capacity on this bike, it will support a maximum load up to 450 pounds, which includes the weight of the rider, and that rear rack there can support up to 300 pounds. All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on the bike and head on over to the grocery store. All right, folks, so we are making our way over to the grocery store right now, and one thing I'll mention is I've already published a couple videos on this bike. I went ahead and attended the media day event that Lectric had last October where they unveiled this bike, so I rode it all around the Phoenix metro area, including our extreme hill climb test, which is a 23% grade, which I'll tell you right now is absolutely ridiculous. And this bike, was able to make it up. It's got that 750 nominal watt motor, which is capable of cranking out 1,310 peak watts of power. So it is a super torquey bike. So if you want to check that out, I will include a link in the description below. I also took out this production model on a first impressions ride not too long ago, so I'll link that down below as well. I test out things like cruise control and all that fun stuff. But today is all about carrying cargo on this bike, which is exactly what this thing has been designed for. And one thing that I've immediately noticed when I started testing this bike is that it's very nimble. It's got a lot of power. And before riding a cargo bike, which I'll tell you right now, this is my first cargo bike, I always thought they were going to be kind of these slower, heavy, kind of clunky things. And this XPedition 2.0 is anything but. It is nimble, it is quick, and it's got a tremendous amount of utility. So I'm excited to put this thing to the test today with a little bit of cargo, see how it does. I'm just hoping my bungee straps are sufficient for carrying that much weight. I guess we're about to find out. All right, so we are pulling up to the grocery store parking lot right now, and I'll go get this thing locked up at the racks they have up front so nobody runs off with our bike. And then we'll go get those bags of salt and load them up. All right, so for our lock today, I do have this Light Lock X1, which does have some resistance against angle grinder, so this should be perfect for this. And there we go, we got everything nice and secure, so I'll go ahead and get our bags of salt. All right, bike is still there. Go ahead and get our milk in here. I put these paper towels in there, that way it keeps the milk from rattling around. And then I've got my box of cereal here, which we'll put in on the other side. And as you can see, there's a ton of space in here for that. All right, folks, so there's our bike fully loaded up with this 80 pounds of salt, our milk, and cereal. I'll go ahead and get us unlocked and ready to go. Okay, so we are on our way. One thing I will say is that that rear kickstand can absolutely support the weight, but it is a little bit tricky to get that kickstand up once the bike is under load, so just keep that in mind. You know, there will be some lifting involved in getting the rear end of the bike up a little bit so that you can push that bike forward and get that kickstand in the up position. Now, something I will mention is that this bike definitely has a little bit of a different feel to it once you're riding it under load. Now, obviously, we've got plenty of power. So we've got the 750 watt motor, 1310 peak watts of power, 85 Newton meters of torque, really good gearing, and we've got this torque sensor here, which makes it very easy to control this bike, especially when it's under load. But just keep in mind, once you have that rear rack loaded up, it might feel a little bit heavy. All right, so here's what it's like getting going from a stop. Absolutely taking advantage of the throttle to get us moving now that we've got this thing under load. But yeah, I mean, once you load it up and ride it for the first time, you'll notice it feels a little bit different, obviously like you're carrying something heavy, but once you get moving, it's actually really nice, very comfortable. Another thing that I like about this bike is that it does have a front fork suspension, which is a huge upgrade over the first iteration of this bike, which did not have a front suspension. So this one here has the Courier 50, which gives you 50 millimeters of travel. So if you are cruising around under load, you'll have a nice, comfortable ride. And if you want to adjust the preload, you can do that. But yeah, I'm in pedal assist too, cruising around at about 14, almost 15 miles an hour. Not a problem at all. If I bump it into pedal assist 3, you can feel that power immediately kick in and we start picking up speed. And then of course we've got our full range of gears that we can leverage. All right, let's see what this thing is like taking a turn. Okay. Nice. Now this thing handles turns under load beautifully. It's got a very predictable ride. Now, even though we're carrying a heavy load in the rear, we're able to pick up speed, maintain speed without issue. If you're considering getting a cargo e-bike to go run errands and things like that and load it up with groceries, yeah, this bike is definitely well equipped for that. You know, I've got the XL cargo bags. You can put different types of bags on the back there, storage racks, you know, whatever you require for your particular needs. But for me, you know, the biggest stuff I'm usually carrying back from the grocery store is these salt bags, and these bungee cords do great. Cruise on through this neighborhood here, and then we'll hook a right and we'll do a quick test of the brakes, see how those perform under load. All right, so for a little bit of a brake test, we're going about 19, 20 miles an hour. We're gonna go ahead and test those out in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, more than enough stopping power. So this bike does come with hydraulic disc brakes both up front and in the rear, and it's got those 180 millimeter rotors, which is why we're able to stop as quickly as we did, especially under load. All right, folks, so there you have it. That was our cargo test with the Lectric XPedition 2.0. And even after riding several miles back from the grocery store, our load is perfectly positioned just as it was when we left. These bungee cords are doing a fantastic job, so I absolutely recommend those. And then our cargo bags, everything's holding up very well. The one thing I will point out is this rear kickstand. It is very robust. It does support a lot of weight, but it could be a little bit of a challenge getting that back in the up position when you have an exceptionally heavy load on the back. So, you know, you have to put your foot in front of there and then lift up the bike and push the bike forward to disengage that. So one little thing to consider. But overall, I mean, I really think this bike handles just as well as it does under load as it does with no load at all, which is a very good thing in maintaining kind of those riding dynamics. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns in the comment section below, or if there's something that you'd like to see me test out, let me know. Happy to consider all ideas. And if you do want to pick up one of these bikes, I will include an affiliate link in the description below. And if you use that to make your purchase, it absolutely helps support this channel and keeps the wheels moving on future reviews. As always, thank you so much for tuning into Tom's Gadget Garage. We'll see you next time.